Hello, computer scientist. I'm going to showcase my card that I made in my Android Studio. A couple tools that I've used. First of all, I've used my Windows 10 virtual machine. So I'm going to go ahead and full screen that. And in my Windows 10 virtual machine, first of all, I like to have my file management kind of clean. So I created a folder called Lang, and inside of that, Android Studio. And then inside of my Android Studio, we have our birthday card that we created in our previous lesson. And it's the season. It's the 24th of December, so I made a Christmas card for my project. So I'm going to showcase that. So again, you can see that I have all my files nice. I know where they're at. They're not hidden anywhere. And I also have those in a repository, both local and on GitHub. And I'm using GitKraken for this. And so here's this tool. It's an amazing tool to keep track of all my different commits throughout. And you can see that I have my initial Christmas card commit. I added some image and I updated some of my text view. I had to rename my image because I had a capital letter in my image, and it did not like it when I tried to put that card on my virtual phone. And then I added a from text so you can see all my different versions. Make sure, or my commits, I should say. So make sure you rename these so you know what you are doing in each one of those. And some of them, I even added a little message in them as well. So you can do that also. So for example, this one, rename image file and causing errors. So image files need to be all lowercase in Android Studio. So I added that little note to it. I didn't need that to be in my actual commit. This is my commit message, but I made put a description in there. So you guys, right now I have my master checked out here, and if I click on my main.xml or my activity underscore main.xml, you can see some of the things that I added in this one. I added one of these text views, and I moved some things around. I reformatted some of my the format of how I had things indented and stuff like that. So if I look at my file view, there's my beautiful file with everything looking nice and lined up with each other, from my image view to my text view to my other text view as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go into Android Studio now. Another tool that I use is one of my main tools I use to create my Christmas card. And here's my Christmas card with my in my text view. If I go to my design view, I think this is kind of cool. I just kind of I've been playing around with this, where then I can see my different text views, upper, top, and bottom, and then my image view, and then kind of see what it looks like here. I was playing around with some of these attributes and looking at these. These are kind of cool, so make sure you become familiar with Android Studio as you guys work through your projects. And I'm going to go ahead and click back on my text view. And first of all, I'll talk about my relative layout. And I chose relative layout because I wanted things to be relative to each other, both top and bottom. I guess I could have used a linear layout, but chose a relative one. My first view that I come to is my image view, and that's with my Christmas tree that I found on a free picture site online. Again, when I went and put it in my drawable folder, the first time I renamed it Christmas tree with a capital T. I was kind of using camel case there, and it did not like it. So make sure that you have all of your images lowercase. I gave it a ID. Again, in our trainings, even though I didn't call that ID, they've mentioned it's a good thing to give each one of your views an ID, so that way if you need to position it compared to that ID, you can. And so again, I went and I gave all of my views an ID. All right, and then I matched my parent for my image view, and I center cropped it. And again, that's my source where I got my Christmas tree in my drawable Christmas tree.jpg. And again, you don't need the .jpg on there. It knows that. So that's my image of my beautiful Christmas tree. And then I have my text view, again, giving it a title. I wrap the content around the content. So that way, at first I had it wrap or match parent. and I wasn't getting it centered. And I'm like, why is that not centering it? Well, when I went over to my other view, oh, sorry, my design view, I saw it there. I saw that this was all the way to the edges, and that's why it was not centering Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas was still over here because it was trying to center the entire text box. So I went and changed that from match parent to wrap content. I got my center horizontal set to true, so it's centered. Again, that's what I was playing with, and it wasn't doing it, and I was wondering why. And that's when I went and changed my layout widths and heights to wrap content. My text, Merry Christmas. Again, it's the season. It is Christmas Eve right now, so Merry Christmas to everyone. I chose this text color. I went online. Oh, I think I need to get that white space out of there. Went online and tried to find a gold color to match this, and I think it did okay. May have wanted to play around that a little bit more, but maybe that's something else I'll do. My text size, I have it at 33 SP. One thing that was cool, I had this first set to DP, all right, and I got this that highlighted it, and it said should use SP instead of DP for text sizes. I was like, oh, well, that's cool. Thank you for that tooltip. So again, this IDE is really intuitive and very smart. This up here, I get a message on it too. I'm going to do a little bit more research. Hard-coded strings, Merry Christmas, should use the @string resource. I'm going to do a little bit more research on that, but again, it's telling me to do that on both that and my string down here as well from the Langs. Again, same kind of thing with my text view. I wrap the content so that way I can align parent bottom. So that's true. So it's down at the bottom. I aligned it horizontal as well, and so that's set to true. Padding from the bottom. I started at 10 dp, but it was too far up into my Christmas tree, so I went with 5 dp, and I thought that looked a little better. If I go to my design view, again, if I click off of it, I believe, there we go. You can see the from the Langs down below there to where it's not on the tree itself. So I thought that was a good touch. Again, kind of same font size, 33 SP instead of DP, same color and everything. So there we go. Again, I then used another tool. I'm using the Nexus 5X using the Nougat 7.1 operating system. And so here's what it looks like on my Nexus 5X. I probably want to learn a little bit more about taking this banner off, the name of my card itself. I want to take that off of there. So I'm going to do a little research on that. But right now, my emulator is working great. You can see my virtual player here with my Merry Christmas from the Langs. Everything looks kind of nice and neat, right where I want them to be. I try to center the image or the Christmas tree more in the center here, and it worked when I was using just the builder here, but then when I looked at it on the phone, I saw a bunch of white space. Basically what I was doing, I was adding a padding on the left, and I got up to about 80 dp to have this centered, and it did center it right down it, but there was then a line. So this picture actually has the image where the tree is over to the left a little bit. I guess I could put that into my GIMP program and do a little editing that way, but I still kind of like what I got going on here. So that's on my card. So those are a few of the tools that I have used. I'm going to go ahead and do one last thing here while we're working on this, is to add my commit. So basically I added the from text view, but my last commit, I'm going to go ahead and stage that for us so I can show you the last tool used for this project. And I just updated, if I could spell right, updated some formatting throughout. All right. And so I really didn't put a description there. Well, maybe I will do this. What I did was, this was a cool trick that I found out. I'm going to go to my code here, and I chose reformat code. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my commit message. I went to code, /reformat code to get everything aligned. Uh-oh. Let's try this. Aligned properly. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and commit that. And now I'm ahead. My local is ahead of my master branch on GitHub by 1. So let's go ahead and update those. I'm going to go ahead and push that. I will tell you this, after I get done making this video, I am actually going to put this video in my repository as well for this project and push that to GitHub. Again, if I happen to lose my computer or anything, again, this is right now is on my local computer as well, but I also pushed it to the internet, which is, let's go ahead and show you, I just made this new commit. So it shows 5 commits there, but if I was here, I can count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the reason that is because I need to refresh this page. And so now that I refresh the page, I'm at 6 commits. And you have to dig a little bit to get to your actual project here, but I've done this a couple times, so I kind of know where it's at. And I know where it's at because I followed this kind of file path to get to my activity main. I'm looking in for my layout, so let's keep going. So we're going to open up our res. There's my layout. All right, and there's my activity main. If I go back one to my res, my drawable, I'll have my picture that I have, my Christmas tree.jpg. I have that there, but let's go back to, again, my layout. Activity main, I can open that up, and there is my XML file. So all we've really done so far is XML. We haven't gotten to the Java part of it yet. We'll get there, but right now we're just designing kind of the way our app looks. We really don't have any interactivity with it right now. So kind of cool. We could also work on it from our GitHub if we're at home, if you want to add some more text views and stuff like that. And then when you guys come to your local computer that you're working on with your local repository, you can go ahead and pull that from the internet. But what I found out first is to stash anything that you may be working on locally and then pull it down from the internet. And then your origin will be ahead of your local one, and you'll just put those two together. So kind of cool. So I think that's about it of my awesome app. Again, I really like my my Christmas tree. Let me go ahead and minimize all my tools so you can just see my phone. Again, I think this is a really cool project, and I really like being able to test it out on a phone. And there's a lot of different phones that we could test this out on. So I've chose the Nexus 5X, but again, as things advance, as more phones come on to the market, our options will increase. But again, I think that's kind of cool that we can test it out on a virtual device, our virtual phone. So we're running a virtual phone on a virtual machine. Love technology. I think this is really cool. Can't wait to see your guys' video on what you guys come up with. So show me all the tools that you've used for this project. Have a great one.